Welcome back to C Turbo Addicts channel today, guys. I know it's been a couple days that I haven't really posted some stuff up, but figured today was as good a day as any. It's the 23rd of December. It's about 40 degrees out here today. It's been freezing cold, so I haven't had much to do. After I had honed the pistons, I put them away, or honed the cylinders, I put them away. Today we're going to talk about getting that lower cap off there that you see. Inside there's some seals and some bearings, and I was advised that anytime when you're doing a rebuild that you should always replace that lower bearing, because it's known to fail. Just cheap insurance. I think they're like 20 bucks for the bearing. The seals are maybe $5-10 bucks a piece. There's a few seals in there. I'm going to show you how you get it off, and I'm going to show you what's inside. Next thing on the agenda for this right now is to start cleaning up all those piston ring grooves and the tops of the pistons, get them nice and pretty to go back in. So I'm gonna get you guys a little bit closer. We're gonna take a look at what we got. Okay, what you guys see here is the the lower main cap, as they like to call it. It should slide right off, from what I'm told, probably with a little tapping. And also the bearing inside there might not be so easy to come off, but we're gonna see where we're at with all that good stuff here once we get that lower off. First thing I want to point out is that I kind of have this set up on some blocks and stuff, just to keep all the pistons separated. There's grooves machined here into these mains and into the reed blocks, and you don't want to damage any of this stuff, so you want to be careful that if you're ever laying this stuff horizontally flat, you want to line up this with the skirts of the pistons. That's what they're there for, so they don't get in the way. So I have a wood block, and I think you guys can see that. There you go. I have a wood block and a hammer. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and tap to see if we can knock this thing off. Oh, not my finger. She's coming off really nice. Spin her around. So you take everything off evenly. You don't want any of this stuff getting caught sideways, because it makes it a lot worse. Go ahead and throw on my gloves here, which I've already oiled up from taking the piston out of all the pistons out of a bag. Been looping them up, putting them in a bag with a cleaner and stuff, because I don't have a parts washer, so that helps soften all the carbon. So there we have it. That's off now. We're gonna see how all these seals fit in there. It looks like part of the bearing might be in there. I'm not real sure. And we have this, which just barely fits. We got a little bit of noise there. I'll bring you a little bit closer, see if you can see what we got going on here. No play in the bearing itself, but there's a little bit of noise, to be expected, you know. This thing's been in here for a long time. But I would really like to replace this since I've got this off, and I'm gonna put the new seals up in this lower. Let me put you on this side so you can see in the light. There's my lower, and inside there's some seals that these all need to come out. And what's important about these is the way that they face. They both face a certain direction, and I'll show you all that during install and when we take them out. So first things first, we're going to try and tackle this bearing. I was told that the best bet to get the bearing off is to take a nice stout punch and hit on these sides where you can see here that'll fit. We could also maybe get a shim in there, or even a bearing puller off of here. Take that off. But I'm gonna get a little forceful, and if I have to, I'll get some heat, and I'll heat this inner race up, and this thing should pop right off. But first things that I'm gonna want to do is clean off this edge. I got this is a nylon bristle brush. You don't want something stupid like just a little bit of carbon holding you up, you know. Alright, let me get some tools together, and we'll try and see what we can knock off of this thing. So as you can see, I have gotten the bearing off. I had to apply heat to the inner race, and actually knocked a screwdriver down there, and it popped loose. And once it got broken off its seat, it had come off. So you can see it steaming there. What we're going to want to do now is clean off the surface where the bearing goes, and I'm going to have to order some parts, but we're also going to take a look inside that lower. Okay guys, make sure you're recording. Yep. Here we have, I don't know how well you can see, this is my old camera still. Got my fingers crossed for Christmas I'm getting a new camera, but I'm not sure. These are the seals. Part number 18-2016 is the oil seal. There is 2 of them in there. I don't really know of a better way to get these things out than smacking them out the opposite direction. It looks like when you're looking at them, you have your flat surface here and your flat surface here, so they both face the lip down, is what it looks like to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screwdriver and go move you so you can see what I'm doing. You can kind of see. Here, does that help? There you go. I want to take a screwdriver in and just tap it out. So there's the way that it faces, going in like that. And same deal with this one. So now we have inside here an extremely dirty, nasty main cap that needs to be cleaned out, and it looks like there's some type of oil drain hole that runs through there. There you go. So you can see all in there, there's an oil drain hole that I can see straight through, clean through, so that's good. There's another hole here that I can see straight through clean, so that's good. And then there's an O-ring here, and I also have those O-rings to replace too. So I'm going to go ahead and get some carburetor cleaner, and we're going to clean this thing out, and we're going to try and put these back together. Alright guys, okay, now that we have this all cleaned out and nice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push in the new seals. And these are Sierra part number 18-2016. These things, there's a seal installer that Mercury sells to push these in, but I'm going backyard. If you haven't noticed, if you look at my working arrangements here, all this shit's done in my backyard. So I have a really large socket. It's a 32 millimeter. It's designed for removing the oil filter cap on newer model Chevy vehicles, smaller vehicles, front wheel drive, mainly my wife's HHR. which I fucking hate the car, just to let you know, but I'm a Ford guy anyway, so that's what it's designed for. So I'm going to use that as my bearing, my seal installer. First thing you want to do is put a little bit of Loctite on all the edges, and remember, the lip faces out of the block on the lower. The top, I think it actually faces in, but that's here nor there at this point. So put a little Loctite on there. Try and get a napkin to clean up any excess. Of course, I don't have one, so I blow on it. Yeah, there you go. Get it on your face, which is fun. I'm going to try and do this as best I can. I want to give it a little bit of pressure by hand first, because when you install this, you want to install it straight. There's a seat down there at the bottom that it'll land on. But you don't want to get this thing cocked too much. If you need to. She's seated nice and on the bottom. I'm going to get another one and do that, the same process there. When they touch each other, that is the oh, looks like I got a little Loctite on my face. Yawn. Don't do that. That shit tastes like fucking garbage. A little Loctite on here. Smeared on there. They call for Loctite type A or equivalent in the manual. I'm using blue. And that's just to get me started, and then I even it out with the hammer. And you try and place it as center as possible. Wait till she seats in there. And there you have it, a double whammy installed. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think I put that in there too far. Hang on un momento. Well, it looks like I did it correctly in comparison to what it was supposed to be. So next thing you want to do is grab a napkin of some sort. I got one in my truck. Wipe off your face of any excess Loctite, like me. And the last part of that is the actual rubber seal that goes around. You're going to want to put on there, and you're going to want to go ahead and lubricate all these, because I don't know if you ever change it. I'm sure if you're doing this, you've changed your own oil, but when you change your own oil, you always lubricate the gasket with a little bit of oil. Nice and in there. Good. We can throw away these old shitters that are rusted to hell. I have a pick that I'll use to get this off with. I'm gonna grab my pick and the other gasket. Okay, I got my pick or other gaskets. If you don't have one of these things are your best fucking friend, man, for real. And that thing is on there good. Now we got two options here because I bought an upper and a lower. The upper is much thicker. The lower is much thinner. So, gonna want to make sure that edge is nice and clean. Get any of that little gunk off there. Take your rag, wipe that up completely off, nice and clean. Go ahead and install your new one. And essentially, you're ready to install a new lower bearing and put your main cap on. Mine's really dirty. I'm okay with that. Got an extra oil seal if anybody wants to buy one. Leave me a message in the comments below. I know I sound super exciting today, don't I? What the fuck? So yeah, my next step from here is going to be to go ahead and try and do my best to clean off those pistons. First I'm going to get a little bit of lunch, put away some of these tools that I don't need, and then I'll be ready for piston rings and putting this thing back in. So stay tuned, guys. Keep watching. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy I don't care about Christmas. I don't care what you do, just enjoy yourself over your nice little vacation. We all should. So thanks for watching, guys.